So a little while ago, I made a video, a very short one, about how to add a browser source to OBS, but that video was very superficial and just sort of for one specific use case. I made it real quick to show some people how to add that specific information to their stream. But I wanted to make a video about it, or a tutorial that covers it a little bit more in depth. It's not going to be super long, but so it's for a more general use case. So in order to add a browser source, why would you want to add a browser source? Well, browser source, it's basically it allows you to capture a web page within OBS, so you don't have to say open Firefox or Vivaldi or Chrome or Edge or whatever you use, Safari, um, and like capture that window. You can just capture a web page directly within OBS. Other capture software also offers this. For example, XSplit does, but I'll just be working with OBS. Um, so yeah, so the way to go about this is this. Hold on. This is the default look for OBS, right? I like to have the studio one. What you do is you add a source, and just add a browser source like that. You can name it whatever you want, and then here you enter the link that you want to navigate to. So say I want to show Reddit. That I put that there. Um, you want to make sure to have this bit in front as well. So it's either http colon double slash or https, because otherwise it won't work right. Then what you want to do, you probably only have to do this once, is you want to adjust the width and the height. So I'd like to have Reddit run at the native or capture at the native resolution as the rest of my stream. So I'll put it to 1920 by 1080, like so. And then you can use a custom frame, which is if you have like a certain style to your stream, and you just have it as a smaller window or something. You might want to do that, but I'm not going to go into that. So, I just click OK. And it'll load. Bada bing, bada boom. There it is. There's Reddit. Now you're like, okay, that's cool, but how can I do anything with that? Like, I want to scroll down and show a specific comment or something. Well, if you right click on either the layer in the editor here, in the visual editor, or down here under sources, you can click interact. So right click and then interact, and it'll pop up another screen in front. And with this, you can interact with the browser now. So you can, apparently not scroll because my computer is shitting the bed. Weird. Hold on. Oh, so this will scroll, see? Um, it sometimes has issues with the mouse wheel, but you can interact with the web page now. So I can go to say, do search, interact, all that good stuff. So that, yeah. So now about the other properties here. It doesn't, the web pages don't always look this nice right away. Sometimes they have transparency. I believe this is the case on the old Reddit. Yeah, here we go. So you can see in this design, there's a lot of black, and that's because that is not made to be white in the code. It's made to be transparent, and the default background color of your browser is generally white. You can see that specific objects, like for example this ad here or this login box, are white in the background because they're not transparent. So if you want to make it look good and not like this, you gotta edit these properties here. So this is the RG and B, the red, green, and blue value, and then this is transparency. So in order to have it black, you do 0, 0, 0. You have these values here, RG, B, and A. RG and B are red, green, and blue. Those are values between 0 and 255, and then A is the transparency, or the opaqueness rather. with a range from 0 to 1, so to decimals. So if I set this to white, which would be 255, 255, and 255 on all three, and click OK, the background won't change because it's still transparent. The transparency, or rather the opaqueness, is still set to 0. And you can see here too that the bits that are back here are gray here. That means that if you have some source behind that, like a gameplay capture or camera or something, it'll show that, where it shows black here and where it shows gray here. It'll show through as it's transparent. So now if I up this to 1, I'll reload it, and you'll notice that the background is white now. Now if you only want to show this as a small part of your stream, you don't want it to take up the full screen, you know, maybe you want it in a box or something. What you can do is just by clicking on the corners and dragging, you can resize it. And you can just by, you know, dragging around here, you can move it anywhere you want. If you have a specific area that you only want to show, so say for some reason I only want to show the logo, right? You know, this could be for any number of reasons. Say, like in my last video, you want to show a tracker for something that isn't compatible directly with like a plugin, you know. Maybe you just want to show a YouTube video or something, and you don't want to show all those stuff around it, you know, you just want to show exactly the video box. What you can do is you hold down left alt, and then you drag, and it'll crop it instead of resize it. And then if you want, you could, you know, resize this, blow it up like that, which is also can be helpful for you know, getting the crop just right how you want it. And then, you know, maybe putting it back down, whatever. However, you know, there are many use cases for this, but so that's how you do that. You can have multiple browser sources, so, you know, because you can't navigate to a new web page from within the browser. If I interact with it, there's no URL bar here. I can't type in, you know, youtube.com or anything like that. So what I have to do is go to the browser and then put in the new URL. So say I want to navigate to my YouTube channel, you know, I'd have to put in the URL like that, and then, you know, adjust the width and height how I want it again. This is the at which it'll render, by the way. So you'll notice that this in the background is still at 1920 by 1080, but we've cropped it down. But it's still rendering the stuff around it as well. So yeah, then I click OK. And it'll keep the current crop and all. So I recommend, if you want to crop something, that you have a browser source for the crop thing, and then if you want to show stuff full screen or just resize, that you have a separate browser source for that, because you can have as many browser sources as you want. By the way, you can view videos and such in this. So I can show my old video. I'll mute here. But you'll see it runs fine. I haven't run into anything yet that didn't really work this way. One more thing, if you have a lot of different sources, it's generally easier to interact with the browser from the list here, because if you hover over it, you might accidentally right-click on one of the other sources that you have, and, you know, you'll have to click more often to get it right, likely. But yeah, I hope this is helpful. If you have any further questions about this, please let me know. I hope that this is relatively thorough, but you know, you can always forget something. But yeah, anyway, good luck with whatever you needed this for, be it a stream or a video or whatever. And you know, I hope you have a grand day.